It is a brisk weekday morning in Portland, Oregon, and the daily commute gets underway. The city's streets and bridges are crowded with cars, buses, streetcars, and light rail trains, and another popular vehicle.
It's quicker and cheaper than taking the bus.
Portland has long been known as one of the nation's leading cycling cities.
Portland's known for being very green and progressive.
Here, bikes provide more than recreation and sport. They are a significant means of transportation. A census report released this year found that a higher percentage of people in Portland commute by bike than in any other American city. Now the city is capitalizing on its reputation. It is building a cycling economy.
We have some of the best custom-made bike frame manufacturers in the United States. We have a whole industry that has sort of grown up around the bike usage that really was sort of the start of the bike culture.
Portland is a bike town. It's known as a bike town around the world, and one of the best places to be if you're a cyclist.
That was Tony Pereira. His one-man bike-making business is part of the city's growing cycling industry. It includes bike makers, clothing manufacturers, even consultants who advise other cities on how to become more bike-friendly.
I've always loved bikes, and I've been an avid mountain biker since the 80s when it all kind of first began.
The growth of cycling has meant change for the city, and at times, controversy. In October, 2 cyclists were killed when they were hit by trucks in separate accidents. The deaths called attention to the growing challenge of managing traffic as bike popularity soars and cyclists demand respect on the roads.
It was the 5th generation that finally worked.
Andy Newlands first started making bikes here in the 1970s, and he's widely considered to be the first person to bring the handmade industry to Portland. Back then, he rarely saw fellow cyclists on the street.
In 1970, I don't think we would have passed a person. Today, I rode across town, came back across the Hawthorne Bridge. I'll bet there were 30 other cyclists piled up. They just kept coming and coming and coming.
Much of this growth has been organic, so to speak, a cultural and economic extension of the city's character, its residents' inclination to conserve energy, protect the environment, and stay fit. And while many riders say they like the area's moderate climate and relatively gentle terrain, cycling stature in Portland can also be traced directly to support from the city.
Our intentions are to be as a sustainable city as possible. The city of Portland in the last sort of 15 or 20 years has probably invested around $20 to $25 million to increase our bike infrastructure, everything from bike lanes to bike paths to better lighting to help bikers navigate through the city streets.
They've also spent money to help local businesses like Tony Pereira's learn how to better manage their operations and promote themselves.
The bicycle frame building is definitely a very small niche market. A lot of the frame builders get into this because they love bicycles, not because they love business.
Near one of the city's ubiquitous coffee shops, cyclists praise the efforts.
I think the city's done a great job in planning. It's a community that supports cyclists, so there's a certain amount of awareness amongst drivers too, which is great. I think it's a combination of that, and it's just a pretty friendly city to begin with. It's very well laid out, and there's a lot of bike lanes.
This is Natalie Ramslin, one of the newest local bike makers.
I am not a native to Portland. Both my parents grew up here, and so I'd always come from California and visit, and I realized that California didn't offer me the ability to bike anywhere and everywhere as a first-class citizen in the way that Portland does. Here it's like if you're riding a bike, you're really traveling in the vernacular. It's what people do here.